What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Good
What's up?
morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry, a little tardy, um, but things happen unfortunately right at 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
and it's another edition of the Brothers of Legacy,
Hey, y'all.
Brothers of Legacy, and podcasts. Yeah,
Yeah. There
yeah,
you go. The Brothers of Legacy podcast.
the
You
Brothers
gotta,
of
go-
Legacy
you gotta
podcast.
roll off your lips. There you go. Roll off your lips. There you go. It's like that.
But we appreciate you guys rocking with us, and hanging. Whew, it's gonna be an awesome show. We're talking
Yeah,
a
it
very
is.
basic topic, but very complex at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's everything white and black. But before we get into that, blessings, Lisa. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mama
Hey,
Corey.
mama,
Good morning.
your baby boy
Um,
won't be here today. It's okay. We
so,
love it.
so let's go. Let's go. We're gonna get into this. Hang tight. This is your opportunity to share. Sharing is caring. And this is what we do. All right, let's go.
It is.
I didn't want to catch
Good
that.
morning,
Good
good
morning.
morning,
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody?
All right. Let's do it. Hey, new narrative. She's up in here again. Hey, good morning to you.
Hey,
Good
Carla.
morning to you,
Carla.
Carla. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that, yes.
Names.
Dwayne straighten that out for it. It's Carla. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Break out the topic. I like the topic, today's topic, because I've been getting, it's amazing to me sometimes, AD. I get a lot of, and nobody, it's surprising to me because nobody has asked me about with society as it is, with black, tensions, racial tensions.
Right.
And nobody has yet to ask me, well, Terry, how does that affect your marriage? Because those of you that may or may not know, my wife is white.
Right.
And so, and people, I had one person to inbox me and call me, and this is after the George Floyd thing
Okay.
that happened with George Floyd, and it was like,
Gotcha.
how does that affect, your marriage with?
Right.
And I'm like, it don't, because
So it doesn't.
we have it, not me and her per se, because she is, she backs me up. And she has a full understanding of what's going on. What's up, Cole? She has a full understanding of what's going on in the country, and she sees it for herself. It doesn't have anything to do with her being married to a black man. She sees that what's happening in this country is absolutely atrocious, and shouldn't happen to any race. But but normally people ask that when racial tension and then Black Lives Matter and do you wear your mask around her? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what? That's my wife. What do you want me like shun her? You want me to put her in quarantine because you're white? And I
corner, put baby.
Yeah, put baby in the corner. No, I got a mixed son. But it's amazing. I'm white, however, I have a black son. Milo's my blessing. Exactly. So that's exactly Terry Jr. is my blessing. He's 3.
Okay.
And and so people, I tend to get and it's amazing. Still in 2020.
Right.
Me and her will go out someplace.
Oh, and still get the stairs?
And still get the stairs.
Wow.
We went, our anniversary was back in July, right in the middle of shelter in place. And the Idaho was in phase 3 at the time, back in July.
Right.
And it was our anniversary, so we went out to Olive Garden here in Trenton, where we live. And there was this lady that was sitting across from me. She was, I'm telling you, she was a Karen. But she didn't say nothing.
Okay.
She had that Karen look though.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and her and she just stared. I mean, for the whole 45 minutes, and me and my wife and I sat there. She was like, so I'm thinking to myself going, either one, she's never seen a black man before, or 2, she's never seen a black man and a white woman together before.
Right.
And she didn't know what to say.
Right.
Or she was plotting to say something. She couldn't pull her phone out. She's trying to call one of those Proud Boys to come down to the spot. I don't know what was going on, but it's crazy out here. It's crazy. but
Wow.
racial tension is nuts. And so uh, I've had one person ask me about it
Gotcha.
since
Right.
Georgia, yeah.
Gotcha.
And so I'm
Gotcha.
glad we hadn't talked about it in the Buzz of Legacy because we had plenty of opportunity to talk about it. I was like, yeah, let me sit back
I
up here
mean,
and be good.
and I know based on where you live, you are a minority, or
Yeah.
you're under like 1%
Oh yeah.
in your
Pleased
area.
with that. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned the issues with the police, stopping by and things like that. Have you ever had any pullovers and things of that nature happen?
No, never been pulled.
Okay, like
Never knock on wood. Never been pulled
right,
over.
right.
But the police force here is rather small in comparison to other towns.
Okay, okay.
So y'all kind of know.
Who's who?
You're right, and then I'm kind of the familiar face.
I
So
got you.
like, because I used to work at one cell phone store, and I worked at
Right,
the big chain electronic store, the
right,
Samsung rep in that store. Now I sell cars, so
right,
I'm
right,
kind of the familiar black.
right.
You know,
You're the black we know.
yeah, it's like I know that black guy. You know what I'm saying?
He says so. Terry,
Stand back and stand by. Yeah,
you will say, "So the Proud Boy stand back, stand by."
yeah,
While you and your wife ate at Olive
yeah,
Garden,
yeah.
right?
They were, and the movie theater was across the street with Olive Garden there, so they in the parking lot. Like,
Wow.
so it's amazing, and I'm still like I said earlier, I'm still surprised that we still get the look. Like it's
Right,
2020,
right. You
really.
would think,
But then again, a lot of people that I talk to from here have
right?
said to me, "Well, Terry, the reason why you get that look is because for years there weren't a lot of black people here until
Oh,
um,
gotcha.
the refugees from Somalia started coming over. They started bringing some refugees over here,
Okay,
and so that's when they start seeing a person of different color, other outside of Mexican.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So because the Hispanic community here is huge,
Wow.
and so outside of the Hispanic community and Mexican community, my face and I mean I can promise you guys I can count on both hands and both feet how
Right.
many black people in the town that I'm in, you know. And when we see each other though, it's a party.
Right.
We got I think we
Like it's your cousin or uncle.
where was I? Where was I? I was in Walmart somewhere, and I was walking down the aisle. And I walked past the underwear aisle, and I was getting that packing underwear, whatever. And he kind of cut through with a t-shirt for a little $5 shirt. You get the 20 penny shirts. Y'all need Jesus t-shirts, all that.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
he walked past. And I was like, "That a brother?" And so I walked around the corner. So walked around the corner, and I caught up with him, and we talked for a half hour.
Wow.
Just this
Wow.
man had to sketch up. Do you think it would be different if you look more threatening? Dreads, gold teeth, anything? You know what? That's a good question, bro.
That's good.
That's a good question. Yes, I think here where I'm at, it would be different. That's why I have a Black Lives Matter face mask.
Yeah.
I know AD has one. Got no
Yeah.
face on it a couple times and you had it. But because of where I am and because of I don't wear it at work.
Okay. Okay.
And I wear it when I go out to other places. But when I'm at work, I have another face covering that I wear if a customer requests it. But here's the thing, E. Out here, you have more people wearing dreads and gold teeth that are not me out here.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And if you've ever seen a white person with dreads, you're like,
Yeah. It always
yeah,
look wild.
that's almost oxymoronic. Like how does that even happen? But it's the way they tease their hair and all that good stuff.
Right. Right.
It's funny looking, but they don't get. And it's funny how having dreads and gold teeth is a black culture.
Right. But
white folks, they're doing the same thing.
right.
But these
Especially
cultures
now. It is now. It
really
is now everybody culture.
Yeah.
It's not really just us. And it's
Yeah. But why they begging on dreads though? Why you mad at dreads? Dreads ain't no dreads
right.
your ass out. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I've seen, but here's the difference out here. There is a huge problem with drugs out here. methamphetamines for one,
Right.
and it's really, really bad out here. So instead of fighting the racial battle, they're fighting the drug battle. And 80% of the drug users out here are Caucasian,
Right.
or Hispanic.
Right.
So they're trying to fight that. They don't really. I've yet to see in the town that I live in. I've yet to see to where they're really, banging with the racial thing. It's really the drug thing they're fighting right now.
Right.
But you got some folks that are like, I don't like you. I don't like you.
Wow.
The ones, and you know how you could tell they don't like me?
How's that?
They have a big old Dodge Ram 3/4 ton truck, about 40 steps around. And if you look, they have the big old Trump Pence signs in the back seat, on the tail flag, just waving.
Right.
I saw one the other day that was so big, I was like, really? Won't you?
Yeah, listen, I don't know. They have some super size signs. Yeah. I've been driving, because I drive around the country and they have some super. I'm looking like, yo, that is a huge sign.
That's a big sign. Like
on that lawn is like the jokers is like, yeah.
I mean,
it's have to be like $200-300 at least. And I'm sure they probably paid like $5 because they're like a donation or something. Because them jokers are huge. He said they co-opted afros back in the late 70s
too. Yeah.
And he's and
afros because of the Black Panthers and all that jazz, and it was always. But why is it?
He said I've had people be fine 1 minute when they see me, and then the moment they beat my dad, the demeanor change. Right. Wow. That's crazy. So my question, right? With all that being said, is and we've talked about this before, and Passive brought it up as far as moving from race and into class, where those that have the have and have nots kind of thing.
It's a great show.
When you feel when it comes to education, do you feel like there's still a disparity in race? Do you feel like some areas get, some areas don't? I mean, I can speak for myself in the 90s and moving up kind of into the 2000s, living in Roosevelt, Long Island, where our funds were little to none.
Right.
But then somewhere after the 2000s, we got an influx of funds and we got all new buildings, all new, like 4 or 5 schools in the town, and the town's a square mile. And they got all new buildings. So it was kind of crazy how that just happened. So I've always wondered and pondered, like, what was the shift or how did that change? But buildings don't necessarily mean education. It just means upgrading where you're getting educated. The education comes with the books and when we used to do the books and things like that. So and it's to you, Terry, and anybody else, do you feel like there's still a disparity in education? Whereas some areas get, some areas still don't get. Where I live is kind of a mixed area. So it's kind of hard to see.
And to answer that, from where I live currently, is a meth capital. Oh, they celebrate 30 years of sobriety. Oh,
right.
Oh, well,
congratulations
to you. 30 years of sobriety.
Keep pushing.
If you ever want to live in a state that don't have sale taxes, go to Montana. That's one of the many states.
My city was. Your city was in Time Magazine. Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah. Montana is a nice state. So no, where I live currently, I don't see it because when they get an influx of funds, I mean, it kind of spreads across the board. And they built a new school over on one side of town, and I think where they get in trouble here is with the zoning, because they have brown people and black people that live in a certain part of the town, like just like any other town, it's like the west side, you know what I'm saying? But here it's the east side or whatever.
Okay.
So on one side of the street, you have the brown people, the trailer parks, this nature. So you have that, but they put a school like around the block. So as far as education is concerned, they don't too much. But when it comes to the zoning of the layouts and stuff, that's when they get in trouble. and they put everybody else. It's
So
beyond
he
financial.
said it's beyond financial black needs, different course strategy, credit classes, entrepreneur. So
Entrepreneurship, etc.
with that question, we're behind the curve in life and we need to catch up.
Yep.
I feel you on that. That's would you say that's more of a class thing than a race thing? And what I mean by that is, I don't know how many predominantly white schools offer these things as well.
Mm.
Like, so that would be more or less something that can be given to all schools. Every school, it should be part of every curriculum. I remember home economics. We talked about writing in our checkbook, balancing the budget, and things of that nature. We never talked about credit and entrepreneurship. For the most part, we know that schools, in a sense, were designed for us to go to have a job. Prepare you to have a job, be able
Right.
to sit, move from class to class, be on time, not be late. Structure your mindset to work in the factory.
Right.
But I think with like I said, those kind of classes, that moves to me feels like it moves beyond race and moves into this should be a standard for school.
Social class.
Everyone should have an understanding of their money and their credit because honestly, yes, some whites have more of an opportunity to get that information, but some don't.
Right.
They're in the same place. He said, "I will take the annual treadmill school." You're so silly. All right, focus on the community that's
Community
the
that
most
suffers too
right.
much.
Whites aren't suffering. They
They did that good credit. Hey, listen. I'm in another part of the country, brother, and from what I've seen, everybody there don't have good credit. Trying to sell cars. Now, you have guys who are farmers and things. They have good credit because they pay everything in cash, and whatever they do buy in credit, they get it and pay it off within 6 months or whatever. One of my buddies that work in the mechanic shop, his dad bought a brand new 2021 GMC Denali. Wanted to pay cash for it, but they wouldn't sell it to him because they didn't have the rebates. We pay cash, so he financed it, paid one payment, and then paid it off. So I feel what you're saying. There's some folks that have good credit, but from what I've seen personally, what I've worked with, everybody got good credit, bro.
right.
The struggle is real, especially when you're dealing with in places like this that are drug and not, I wouldn't say infested, but have a drug problem and all that. Yeah.
Stop.
First name, last name.
The white race oppressors. Okay, so stop trying to downplay this. Black Lives Matter.
Not
The white race oppressors for so long.
Yeah. See, now
Yeah,
you're talking stuff
not acknowledging that.
Yeah.
But what is my question is everything white and black. That's my issue. That's my that's the question on the table. Most definitely, we've gone through a level of oppression. I mean, for me, honestly, it's a little better. People like to say it's not, but I think it's a little better. We are free to do much more than we've had, way back in the way back in the past. But the truth is, like, I think sometimes it's class, sometimes it's race. Cole Johnson says this is still a disparity in education. Oh, it's still a disparity in education. However, the bar is raised. In my opinion, when we were growing up, a bachelor's degree was the educational holy grail, right?
Yeah.
Now it's about a certain institution as to where you get the sheepskin.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like, is it really the institution still? Like, I mean, I get it. Harvard having a Harvard whatever may be nice. But a lot of jobs just require you to have a bachelor's. They just, you look on there, they want you to have a degree to do something simple. Let's see. They said there's the 50 Shades of Gray, and everything is black and white in the United States. Race is pushed to the conscious. It is most definitely.
Yeah. So first name, last name, real quick. I'm not sure if you're a guy. Put your name in the comments so we can address you properly. America is for blacks and natives. We built this country on our blood, sweat. Now, what you're saying,
no argument.
It's no argument. We have built this country from on the backs of our ancestors, and we sweat, we bled for this country.
Right.
The oppression is real. It's been there, 400 plus years. We lived in that. Nobody's trying to downplay Black Lives Matter because, like the one thing that I've always said is that as far as the movement is concerned, I do have questions about some things, but as far as the quote, Black Lives Matter is absolutely true, because Black lives do matter too. Now that's kind of what I COO. And so I don't want people to understand or take the fact that I'm not pro BLM, the organization, but I am pro Black Lives Matter, because I'm a Black man too, living in a state that's 90-10 white to Black here. So when I leave work every day, my focus is to get home. So I understand all of that. So this, I don't want nobody to be misunderstood there. Here he goes. Stop that. I bet it's brothers in your hood that create programs for you to come up, but you waste time complaining and not researching the program at first name. Okay.
All right.
So, did I lose you for a sec? Okay. So Candyman's mink fur made a comeback to first name, and it's okay. Yeah.
It's the whole. Also now you have to get a master's name of doctor in order to be considered credible.
Yeah. So back to the whole institution thing. And you ask if that's still legit. I think it is. Right. It's crazy, but I think it's legit. Like if you go to an HBCU, for example, and you spend 4 years at this HBCU and you get your bachelor's, right? But if you go to, say, NC State and get your 4-year degree in engineering and come out, and when you go apply for a job, or it used to be this way, you go and apply for a job, they'll hire the person from NC State faster than they would from the guy from HBCU, even though the other guy had better scores, better grades.
Right.
But he went to a
right. That's true. That's true. So it's because sometimes you write about sometimes the schooling and things of that nature, but I think nowadays it's like even for the simplest jobs, you need a bachelor's, and it's like I'm just a receptionist. Why I need a bachelor's? It's
right.
It's certain things that I guess bringing up the leveling up or trying to get more qualified people or trying to get more people stable. But real quick, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Just hold on one moment because I need a quick break. I appreciate you supporting the Brothers of Legacy broadcast. In this space, we are in the process of expanding. And what does that mean? We have developed a financial literacy course for children. We're connecting with schools. We've got other men involved in our local programs in our community. We are ever expanding. So now we are seeking your financial support. And what does that mean? That means we are trying to get money for administrative costs, marketing, and being able to grow exponentially. But we need you to help us with that financially. You've already helped us with us being part of the broadcast, helping us, those that are part of the community. They've helped tremendously. But now we need your financial support. So what I'm asking, if you click the link here, click that website, go to the website, check out the Brothers of Legacy. It gives you an understanding of what we're doing, as well as gives you a chance to contribute financially. You have several ways. You can go through PayPal, you can go through Cash App. Also, you can give monthly, you can give one time, however you see or feel like you should contribute into this movement. This is an opportunity for you to contribute to legacy. We are changing the narrative. So this is your opportunity to be a part of that legacy. Our legacy is about the building blocks we start today. Our legacy is about the building blocks we start today. So we appreciate you. We thank you. And I thank you for all the supporters that's already given. And for those that desire to give, this is your opportunity. And I'm thanking you in advance. As always, I'm excited. I'm excited for the growth. We've been at this a year and some change now. And change is going to happen. And I want you to be a part of it. So hit that link and be a part of that change. For mother peeps when you need them. But
Welcome back, guys.
listen, we just kind of want to talk about that a little bit. People naturally, hold on, let me hit some comments up. Except some of them. All right, so he said, I'm watching OJ Made in America again. The story was how a black guy tried hard to live a right colors life, found out at the age of 46 that he was indeed black when he was accused, right, when he was accused of murder. My son gets racially profiled, and the cops have put a canine dog in his car twice. Ridiculous.
I don't get that.
Yeah, and let's see. He said, people naturally gravitate towards negative perceptions to find personal comfort. Yeah, you're right. That's that comfort. I think that comfort in ignoring what's going on around you has been one of the problems, because some people have it. But so that is basically what, is it possible to be more than white and black? I mean, it's difficult to kind of to sift through it, because sometimes you like, man, it only happens to us this way. Me and my wife got into a conversation, and I was trying to like find another perspective, but she's like, why is it always us that things happen this way? And it seems like others, the situation with police are different. It just seems that way. It always just seems that way. So when you constantly see it, right.
Come on.
Oh man.
Come on.
Oh,
Switching gears, I know we get ready to wrap this thing up here a little bit, because it's just just me and you today. The funniest thing I think I saw all week was this video that went viral of this Asian guy in Arizona who's a realtor. And he got caught saying the N-word on camera to these young men.
Okay.
They were doing a YouTube video.
Right.
And he went viral, and he went viral, and he got fired. He got fired for the stuff that he said.
Right.
The reason why it's so funny to me is because, brother, you Asian. You ain't got no room to call anybody
right.
nigga.
Right.
I mean, so I don't know how we got here, brother, but I mean, if you watch the video, I think if I find them, I'm gonna put it in the group so you can see if you haven't seen it. But it's hilarious, like, bro.
I mean, honestly though, I'm gonna keep it real, and I know I've said it here on the show, unfortunately, maybe once, maybe twice, and I shouldn't. But we should, like, that word we need to really get rid of. Like, somehow stop saying it. Like, you can't dress it up. What they say, it's not N-I-G-G-E-R, it's N-I-G-G-A. Like,
nigga.
right. Like,
you get it. I don't even think saying the G-A is good. I think we just get rid of it altogether.
Right.
Hey, real quick, first name in can you guys do that for me? All right, so we love you guys though.
Yes, and listen, we got a new podcast dropping. We got a brother, my man Jay Hamilton. We're having him again. He is a lawyer, and he's
gonna be too high for TV. You come Thursday.
Man, it's gonna be fire, because we've already been talking. And if you're following him, he's been on fire in the comments, in his posts and things like that.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you. We're not gonna be here long today. We just kind of wanted to shout out, and our people's is handling business, but me and Terry holding it down.
Speaking of shouting out, before we go AD.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I want to shout out Kent Wade.
Yes.
Today is his birthday.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
If you get a chance to go run through, if you guys follow Kent Library Guy Wade on Facebook, today is his birthday. And go ahead and say what's up. Tell him Terry sent you. I want to get to his Sisters of Legacy.
It's more or less just a broadcast right now, and they have conversations and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just go and support. And because I don't think she's growing, adding anybody right now to it, but just kind of go and support and just hit her up. And connect. That's my wife. If anybody need to know, that's my wife, Samantha Walker, running that. But yeah, let's see. On the N-word, I feel you, man. Unfortunately, it's part of the site. Just like I don't know, but we can stop saying it though.
We can't stop saying it.
We can stop saying it. Yes, indeed. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, what's up,
Ashley? Guess who I'm interviewing Saturday on Knucklehead Chronicles?
Who you interviewing?
Actually,
Miss Ashley?
yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna.
it's about
I'm a dub. I'm a dub the show. An evening with Auntie.
All right, so we're about to get out of here, but I will say this: I'm not getting in between my brother's the first name and what's the other Candyman. But I will say this, and then I'm not. Then we leaving. But no, we are not victims. We are not victims. We don't operate in the victim mentality. We operate based on what God has given us, and we are prosperous. We are not victims. We're just going after the value that this country has taken from us, and now we want things on the table that will help us as far as leveling the playing field, and that's it. All right. So let's see. We can stop staying maliciously, right?
Maliciously, yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's one thing too, yeah.
Exactly. All right. So we're getting out of here. Would you tell her that I'm interested in being? Well, no. I want you to go in there, hit her up.
Yeah. So yeah, because Sam. Let me tell you something about Sam. Samantha Walker.
Right.
What you can't do is do anything secondhand. If you want it, you got to go.
I don't know if you broadcast or what you do. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get out of here.
All right, brother.
We gotta go.
All right, let's go. Yeah.
Oh man, these comments is out of control. All right, y'all. So be blessed, keep pushing. Know that we love you. We love you, but God loves you more. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning.